Survival House Network.
Hey guys, what's going on? Episode 20, Behind the Mask.
Episode 20, I can't believe it.
I know.
The big score. This is Goose.
It's been a lot more. I mean, we have to throw those interviews in there too. So, yeah, but it's still 20 of a regular episode format, I guess. So,
that's what I count, you know.
We got Cory G.
If I would have known it was a special number, I'd have said this has to be the Steven Seagal retrospective.
Oh, God.
I would have been open to it, you know. There wasn't really a whole lot going on this week. I almost watched that vampire movie.
Yeah, me and Goose were talking about that today. I didn't know that was on Netflix. I'm probably going to check that out, dude.
It's really good.
Is it?
And you know what else is really good? Maximum
What?
Conviction, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin and Steven Seagal. Available now
Was
on
it good?
Blu-ray from Anchor Bay Films. It was amazing, actually. And I like how Seagal
You should give us
talked.
a review of it.
It's really good.
Like he
you know
always
what I
does?
like when he... No, this time he'd be like, you know what, Mang? I don't know what the fuck be going on here, G, but we got to be getting this shit together. You understand what I'm saying? From Holmes.
Oh, my God.
It's basically about a prison. It's a black ops prison that's being decommissioned. Him and Steve Austin are former special soldiers, special forces, and they're decommissioning this prison with all these violent criminals, and they have two war criminals in there that Michael Pare and his gang of black ops people try to break out so they can get this intel of this girl. So that leaves Seagal and Stone Cold Steve Austin to take out like a whole bunch of bad guys in prison.
So
And
Stone Cold doesn't
all
play
it
the
is-
racist skinhead then, does he?
No, he cusses a lot. He has a couple great fight scenes. They actually have really good chemistry. They set up a sequel in it. It's just a very violent, R-rated, hard action. Kind of reminds me of the old straight-to-video action movies in the 90s. I really liked it.
That's sweet, man. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'm a big I like Stone Cold. I think he's a pretty solid actor.
I don't like
Action
him as much
actor.
as I don't like him as much as The Rock. I mean, because he just, I don't know. He's too much like Stone Cold. He's too much like the character in The Ring. But
Well, he's not stretching it. He knows what he can do. He made that family movie that's on Netflix. It's like a PG kids movie called Knockout, where there's this new kid at school who's getting bullied and beaten up. So the janitor, played by Stone Cold Steve Austin, teaches him how to box.
That sounds familiar.
yeah. So, does he fight the Cobra Kai anywhere in the middle of this?
Exactly.
No.
Oh, God.
I saw Triple H had a movie on Netflix, or was that
The School Bus,
Chaperone, dude?
Chaperone, yeah.
Is that any
That's
good?
a family. No, I didn't watch it. I'm not a big fan of his, and it's a family movie. Wrestlers and family movies don't really fit, in my opinion.
Oh, Mr. Nanny,
Mr.
dude.
Nanny's awesome, dude.
What they needed to do was make a movie where, like, the good guy, we'll say, is John Cena. That's the only name I can think of off the top of my head. And there's a gang of bank robbers played by, like, The Undertaker. Just get, like, the whole cast in there to make some big, crazy movie. I think that would be cool.
The Undertaker was in Suburban Commando, man.
That's right, he was.
The bad space jockey or whatever the heck. And who was it else? Was it
I like
Macho
No
Man?
Holds Barred. That's about where I'm going with the Hulk Hogan's film work.
Oh, no Tropic Thunder?
No,
dude? I don't like
I'm
Tropic.
thinking of Thunder in Paradise.
Oh,
that's
Thunder
great,
in
dude. I
Paradise.
love
Sorry.
Thunder in Paradise. I ran into that all the time on VHS, dude.
I know you did.
Macho Man was in Spider-Man.
I know he was. You ain't going nowhere. What is that?
Sorry,
Who's
my
calling
phone.
in on the
It's
show?
my phone. Sorry.
How professional.
Speaking of the wrestling topic, I was watching Monday Night Raw. Like, I flip over on Monday nights because, like, I just want to see what's going on with the wrestling world. So I used to be a wrestling fan, you know, back in the day. Who the fuck is CM Punk and, like, Randy Orton and all these guys?
Now, Randy Orton is the son of Cowboy Bob Orton, the guy that used to be with Roddy Piper that wore the cast.
Okay.
He has no talent, no skill, in my opinion. I haven't watched it in years. CM Punk, I like. He used to be on the indie scene, and I used to watch him when wrestling was hot. Like he was just starting out, and he's like super talented. But in the WWF, I kind of quit watching it about the time he joined. But he doesn't really look like a champion. I mean,
No.
I'm twice his size.
Yeah, these
He's
guys
totally-
are a joke, dude.
Well, CM Punk, I get the appeal. He's all attitude. I mean, he's not roided out. He's not in super. I mean, I'm not gonna say the guy's not in shape. I bet if we saw him in person, he'd still look like he's about 3 feet taller than us. But
No,
he's
I don't think he's 6 foot.
well. I mean, you know what? Maybe that's the appeal too. That he's just sort of Mr. Average guy, Mr. kind of the normal. Because that's what your normal gym guy looks like. Most guys don't come out of the gym looking like Goldberg. All roided out of their mind.
Pay to watch some looking dude.
I'm just saying, maybe that's the appeal of him, Randy Orton, he's hometown kid. I mean, sort of. I don't live in Kansas City, but pretty close. But
No,
there's something.
You want to watch a big motherfucker on screen. You don't want to watch some tiny fucking 5'5" douchebag.
I don't know, man. We love those movies growing up. We love to see Rocky go against the bigger guys, and we love to see Ralph Macchio fight the bigger kid in school. I mean, I get the appeal of it.
But I mean, these guys really don't have any. I mean, they might have personality, but I mean, they don't really dress to like. How like Sting had the face paint.
Yeah, there's not as much character unless you count
no characters.
Unless you count Hornswoggle, he's a character.
Well, think about it. Like, you don't look at him in awe. Like, when you were a kid and you saw, like, Hulk Hogan, you were like, oh, my God. Yeah, I size up these guys. Like, I could take him. I'm bigger than that guy.
You're also talking about being a kid and looking at Hulk Hogan. I mean, a kid.
Oh, I'm even looking at, like, if I looked at Bill Goldberg now, I wouldn't fuck with him. If I saw CM Punk, I'd slap him with or without my mask.
This kind of ties into what I watched recently too. So let's just jump into that because I think like 2 nights ago I was laying in bed, I was watching on the iPad the very best of WCW Monday Nitro, and I don't know about you guys, but I was a huge WCW fan as well. There was a time where WWE, of course, was king, and then it sort of fell off in the mid '90s. Before this was like, I think this might have been before The Rock and Stone Cold really jumped on the scene.
Yeah,
but
we're the gut, or WCW was hot.
Yeah,
before the cut on.
And just something about WCW, just the look of the production value and everything. It just looked like old school. It wasn't like all glitz and glamour like the WWF. And so I watched that, and it's of course hosted by Nickolas Cage, which is funny, dude. And basically they go through all the matches when like NWO like became like the big thing in WCW and all that. It was really cool, man. And then I saw a match that I haven't seen in years with Hulk Hogan and Bill Goldberg, which Bill Goldberg was of course like my favorite because he was just a freaking badass, dude.
That's the one where he won the title.
That's where he won the title.
Yeah, that's a good match.
And the funny thing was, I forgot about this. What's his name? That basketball, Karl Malone or whatever. He was like with Diamond Dallas Page at the time. They came out and they did the diamond cutter on some guy that was trying to interrupt the match or whatever. And Bill Goldberg won. It was fucking hilarious, dude. But I loved it.
Oh, at WCW, I liked them because they had all the luchadors over there, and they had Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho. They had like horrible main events, kind of, but they had like awesome undercard. And the NWO were just. I had an NWO shirt. They were fucking cool.
Oh yeah, and then you had the Wolf Pack. Then you had the LWO, Latino World Order.
Yeah,
the Wolf Pack, dude. God.
And then WWF just decided to make a TNA Slee show, and they did the Austin McMahon thing, and boom, that was it. Because Austin McMahon's storyline was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was, and that's why I jumped back onto it because, of course, everybody loves Stone Cold, and then their feud with The Rock, and then they threw Mike Tyson in there one time, which is really fucking cool. A WrestleMania, and I don't know. Ever since then, man, I try to watch it now, but it's just so boring, dude. Like,
yeah, one, it's for kids again now. It's a G-rated.
Yeah.
So. That Attitude Era was hot. I mean, that stuff was in The Godfather and with the hose and Mark Hamill was having sex with Mae Young. That was awesome.
Yeah, with the X or what are they? Degeneration X and all that.
Suck it.
It was pretty dirty back then, but Yeah, like
yeah.
you're saying now, it's pretty PG, but
Oh,
I always kind of wondered if they did that because she was running for Senate.
who's that?
oh yeah, McMahon's
And,
lady.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She lost again. She said she's not going to do it again, so maybe they'll go back to the whole Attitude Era.
No, but yeah, so I checked that out, and I was, there's a lot of good wrestling shit on Netflix streaming. So yeah, I would recommend checking some of that stuff out.
Did you watch the Roddy Piper one on there?
I haven't. No, is that his documentary or?
Yeah, it's really good because they show a lot of his old classic clips. And like when I was a little kid, he was my hero. I wanted to be like him because he was just so funny. I thought he was just such a prick.
My favorite was Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I don't know why, but
I liked him.
he was my favorite. But I used to carry around the hedge clippers, dude. Like getting in my mom's face with them, dude.
I always remembered when Brutus Beefcake and Hulk Hogan fought the Macho Man and Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus.
And I remember when Macho Man hit Beefcake with the purse and he knocked him out. And Gorilla Monsoon was like, he hit him with a loaded purse. And Jesse Ventura was like, that purse wasn't loaded. Like, what are you talking about? There's a brick in there. It knocked him out. No, there was nothing in there. But you get knocked out if that was the Macho Man hitting you with the purse. And just the bickering. And that was so funny. The Bobby Heenan one is probably the funniest one to watch. I actually bought that one. That one was great.
Yeah, I'll have to jump into some of those. One thing I couldn't believe was back in the old WCW days, in the mid '90s, they let like all the fans were like throwing like fucking bottles and shit at the wrestlers.
Yeah.
They're like throwing anything they could find, dude, and they allowed that shit to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Which is,
Did
nowadays
you see
they would never probably allow that, of course. But
did you see an ECW when all the fans threw the chairs in the ring?
no,
You got your phone or your computer by you?
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
It's like 20 seconds. Just check Google or go on YouTube and type in ECW chairs or something like that. And it's like Terry Funk is like yelling, give me a chair. And like there must have been 200 people just lobbed steel chairs and they're fucking buried the public enemy.
Oh yeah, chair incident. Okay, I'm watching it right now. Actually,
It's awesome. It is insane.
That's crazy.
You
dude.
know, we've been talking about the last couple weeks, actually. I think it'd be a great idea, we all do, to have a wrestling-themed episode. If we can, I want to try and get a wrestler for an interview, one of the classic guys. I don't know if we can contact the old Rick Rude or Brutus the Barber and all that stuff. But that'd be really.
Rick Rude's dead. That'd be kind of hard.
Hey, man, I'm all for conjuring up the dead. I'm okay with that.
I got a Ouija board somewhere.
Hey, our good friend of the show, Dr. Sleaze, has experience with Ouija boards. He actually has a pretty good story about that sometime. But, that probably ends in debauchery too. But, all right, so maybe we won't get Rick Rude, whatever, sue me. But I think it's a great idea if we got somebody and had a wrestling-themed episode and we could all, layer all that together. I think it'd be cool. Yeah, man, all the good ones are dead, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much. They're dying off pretty quick.
Mm.
Undertaker, that guy's immortal, basically.
Yeah.
That guy's. Does he have the longest standing career in the WWE, active?
Undertaker? I don't know who does.
Yeah,
Maybe.
He might, yeah.
Because didn't he emerge in the late '80s?
Yeah, because he was in full-on zombie makeup and shit when he first started. He was plastered white.
Is Paul Bear still alive?
No,
Yeah,
Paul
he's still
Bear
alive.
died. No way, I thought he
He's
died.
still alive.
I
His
love
name's
Paul
Percy
Bear.
Pringle.
Sure?
Positive he's on the independent scene now.
Huh. Well, Captain Lou's dead. I don't know. Yeah, he's dead. But
Is he?
Captain Lou is dead. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's not, is he?
Oh, come on. Yokozuna's dead.
Is he? Heart failure?
Yokozuna is dead.
He's dead. Yeah, he's dead. He had a heart
Dude's
attack.
heart exploded. Yeah, or something. But I want to get a hold of Papa Shango. Do you guys remember that guy?
Dude, I was just going to ask you about that. Papa Shango.
I remember one of the exit stories whenever, I don't know if Ultimate Warrior was just he got fired or if he needed a vacation, but I remember he was gone for the longest time, and the way they exited him from the storyline was they had Papa Shango place a hex on him, and I remember him running through the rafters, running into the bathroom of the arena, just vomiting up what looked like mustard and lima beans, and yeah, he was out of commission. I'm well, that was...
I actually saw him both that match locally here in Omaha. They had
Really?
They had
California.
Ultimate Warrior, I think, was fighting Papa Shango that.
Is that the body bag match?
See, I don't remember, but
As a kid,
I think it was like back in like '92 or '93. I want to say, but yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Papa Shango then went on to great success as the Godfather, though.
Yeah, the Godfather.
What?
Yeah, he's the Godfather, dude.
Godfather.
With the
Is he?
hose and everything, dude.
Tattoos and chest plate didn't give it away.
Assuming that he is still alive, I think Dink should come out. No, Dink. I think Dink should come out of retirement and challenge Hornswoggle.
Oh, God. Hornswoggle, dude.
I always wanted to have crazy sex with Molly Holly.
Who's that, dude?
She was around.
Dink still alive?
Attitude. I don't know. I don't know who he really was.
I
know there were 3 different doinks.
I always wanted to suck on Scott Steiner's muscle, dude.
Have you seen his workout video?
No.
It's awesome.
Dude, that guy had like the dumbest finishing move, but it was cool as hell. It was just the Steiner recliner, dude, and he's just like pulling up your neck, dude.
Yeah, but look at the size of that dude.
Yeah, he's huge, dude.
He had like 30-inch biceps.
Yeah, he had like the biggest muscles in wrestling, dude.
That's serious steroid abuse.
Mm-hmm. He's still alive too, I think.
Yeah, he's like I guess he's like a real estate mogul. Like the guy was like a fucking billionaire before he became a wrestler. But he has a workout video. He's got like strippers on his back while he does push-ups, and he's like lifting like logs and curling them and going like, "I'm your daddy, motherfucker," and all that. And he gets like some naked girl to straddle his face while he's doing squats and everything. It's awesome.
Dude, is Hacksaw still alive?
Yeah, dude, he just came here locally.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We need is that okay?
Lush took his kid to go see him. Get his
autograph. That's the guy. Okay, that's the guy that Lush met. Dude, I think we need to contact the old Hacksaw, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Nah, I don't want to talk to some incoherent bastard.
Jake the Snake. Come on.
Jake the Snake's doing a lot of interviews right now.
Yeah. Well, he's living with Diamond Dallas Page.
Now. You know what? Did Scott Hall die too?
No, he's alive.
Scott Hall is alive? Okay, he's just coked out of his mind.
He ate too many toothpicks, man. What do you expect?
Wait, he is dead. I'm lost.
No, he's alive.
He's alive, dude.
Okay.
He's just pretty much, he's got one foot in the grave.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a pretty short list of people that we could even attempt to get on the show at this point because they're all dead or, in some rehabilitation methadone clinic.
Kevin Nash looks horrible, dude. He has like white hair now, dude.
No, he looked good in Magic Mike.
I didn't know he was in that.
He's in Magic Mike.
Strippers, yeah.
Huh.
What?
He's funny as shit.
God,
I think Grandma's Boy and the Punisher. I think he's Grandma's Boy. I think he's one of them.
Yeah, he's one of the movers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a word for that. Hooker. Yeah. I watched that the other day. You're a hooker. I watched that the other day. I love it, man.
That's on
we had
TV
talked about
like
it
every day, dude.
I don't have cable. I have not had cable in years, so I don't keep up with that. That's why I don't watch TV. Besides Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, I've never seen Dexter. I never saw an episode of Lost.
I think everyone wants to know who called Rick. Would you like me to tell you?
No. What now? Whoa, back it up. What are you saying before we let you proceed with this? What?
People keep asking who Rick picked up the phone. Remember the phone was ringing?
Yeah, no, nobody wants to hear this. No spoilers allowed. Which, by the way,
happy they called him.
No.
How do you know who called him? Just tell us. How do you know?
I read the comics.
Oh, okay.
But we don't want to hear it. And just so everybody knows out there in podcast world, our pages, whether it be the group page or the official page or the website, is a spoiler-free zone.
Yeah, you're banned from Walking Dead talk there, Corey.
This guy.
I haven't given anything away.
You've been teasing old Dale Roy about that. He didn't seem too happy about that.
We were talking about this. I think it was on the last episode. We all discussed it. River and I even discussed our frustration. It's like, especially with Walking Dead, if we can't watch it right away when it airs, you got to stay away from things like Facebook, like the plague. Corey was present. He heard it. He acknowledged it. What does the guy do like that night or the next day? Posts on Facebook for everybody to see. I almost said some bad words. and it made me so upset. One of my own ruined it.
Well, it ain't my fault. I was happy the T-Dog died.
Well, yeah, he was lazy and he was a worthless waste of space. I agree.
I mean,
and
does everybody
anybody
know
else
who's going to die next?
Nah, if you know it, I don't. We can't even talk about this show with you. We can't even talk.
That's the only show. Yeah, we don't want to know any of your comic book spoilers.
We can't. We love talking about The Walking Dead, but I think as long as you're a part of the group, I don't think we can because you read the comics. This is horrible. Sucks.
Did you read every comic or what?
Yeah, I still read it, actually.
Oh, really? Okay. God,
anybody else think it's funny?
Talk about
I have no problem talking about the episodes up to date, nothing further in the story. But does anybody else find it funny that, once T-Dog made his exit, they introduced a new black guy with that other prisoner, like they accepted him in the group. They had to replace that.
Right away. You always got to have a brother. It's
funny, though. They killed one off and they brought in the new one. So, if Glenn ever died, and if he does, you don't say a word, they would have to bring in a token Asian, It's like...
See, it's harder to find the token Asian, though.
Why? There's more Chinese people in the world than anybody else. They overpopulate everybody.
Even the United States?
Heck, well, yeah, I think so. Well, if they're not, at least next to white people, China is number one. Dude, they're everywhere, man.
I was talking about the United States, but all right.
Think about how many Chinatowns there are all over the world. What other community has those kind of establishments on a worldwide basis?
Well, the suburbs have white people.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna say white people's number one, if we're gonna talk about minorities in our country, Chinese is number two. I'd even say over Mexican.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's get back on the regular topic.
What else does this have to do with zombies?
Regular talk. We need to get into the regular program, and I want to say the things that we're going to talk about are we want to talk about the new Brad Pitt. The World War Z trailer was released. We have words about that, and then I personally want to talk about they announced. Now I heard two different things. Supposedly, it was confirmed that Nickolas Cage is in Expendables 3, like official, and somebody was telling me that Stallone kind of counteracted that online saying nothing was official. I don't really know. I haven't backed that up yet, but I want to talk about those two things at least. Anybody else?
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. Before we finish up, was there any movies that you guys wanted to talk about that you checked out, or?
I just recently. It's Christmas time. So I'm whipping out all these my holiday standards. I bought the Muppet Christmas Carol was released on Blu-ray last week, I believe, and I went out and bought that, hoping eagerly that they included the song that had been taken out of the last couple of releases, the When Love Is Gone scene. They thought this particular scene broke the consistency of the film because it was kind of really sad. It was a real downer, but to me it's the highlight scene in the movie because you see Michael Caine pull out the waterworks crying, and he's given an Oscar-winning performance with Muppets, and I just think it's amazing that he can still be that believable surrounded by the great Gonzo and whatnot like that. So they still didn't add it, and I don't know why, because the fans have been clamoring for it. Anybody that's a fan of the Muppets in that movie, that's the first thing on their minds. Are they going to put the scene back in? Are they going to put the scene back? And they still didn't. So, and in fact, all the special features are just tacked on from the last edition on DVD. So I have to say they lose some points with me for that. I think that's cheap. But, it looks all right. I wouldn't say it looks fantastic, but for its age, it looks decent. It doesn't look as good as the Muppets, the Jason Segel one. That one looks fantastic, but this is a way better movie in my opinion. Yesterday I actually picked up the Home Alone collection on Blu-ray.
I still want to buy that.
I've watched the first one so far. The first one is loaded with special features, kind of like the Muppets. They just kind of took all the special features that were on the last released edition called the Family Fun Edition on DVD, but I never owned that one, so they're all new to me.
God, how I hate those movies.
You know what? You're not... Come on, give me this moment. Don't say you hate Home Alone. It's the greatest.
Home Alone is one of my favorite movies of all time, dude.
Is there a deleted scene in there where he's shooting up heroin?
No, you know what?
And I have no use for that movie.
Cory G is a little bit older than Todd and I, so he must have just missed the mark on that. I can understand that a little bit, but it's Todd and myself. It's our childhood. It was just the thing back when we were little tots, But there are loaded of deleted scenes, tons of deleted scenes. There's a couple. Actually, a couple different featurettes. There's a separate featurette on stunts. There's all kinds of cool stuff. It's definitely loaded. I saw some scenes. I can't imagine any more scenes and dialogue from that movie because I've been quoting it front to back ever since I've been like 4 or 5 years old. So
I can quote the first fourth of the movie, I think, but still.
Oh yeah. And the fact that I got to see some scenes and dialogue I've never seen before is just wacky to me. It's like adding 3 new pages to whatever Exodus or freaking Moby Dick or something that's been well cemented in history. And Home Alone 2, I haven't watched it yet, but it doesn't look like it has any special features at all. But the first one, like I said, I've seen quality wise. I was trying to explain this to River. As far as the colors, it still retains that kind of dingy 1990 tint it had. Like the colors don't look real remastered and vibrant and pop. I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing because it definitely looks like Home Alone, but the frame rate is really sharp and smooth and quick, and it's really, really smooth. There's no grain, so it's really, really pretty. It's definitely the prettiest it's ever been. So I'd say it's I'm very, very happy with the way it looks, so hopefully 2 looks just as good.
Yeah, I need to pick that up still. I think it was at Walmart for like $14.99 or something. Yeah,
$14.99 at Best Buy and Walmart or Amazon.
Man, that's $14 too much.
Oh, come on. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Don't say
Christmas
it.
Story.
Oh, God.
Oh, shut up.
Sucks, dude.
Please.
I don't think it sucks. It's not worth owning. I mean, it's a classic, but I mean, we've seen it so many times. I've seen Christmas Story probably as much as I've seen Home Alone, but one of them I can definitely live without, and I bet you can guess which one that is. Home Alone never gets old. Christmas Story, I watch it. It's on TV every year, and I always watch it every year, but, it's just kind of like habitual, Whereas Home Alone, I get the hankering to put it in.
Did you pick up Christmas Story 2, Corey?
With the Daniel Stern?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay, because I wanted your input on that, but never mind.
Daniel Stern.
I saw the sequel to A Christmas Story, though, years ago.
Christmas Story 2 just came out.
No, My Summer Vacation is the sequel to Christmas Story.
Oh, okay.
They just had a different... Charles Grodin was playing the dad instead of the amazing Darren McGavin.
Huh. Mm. And don't get me wrong,
Plus,
I think
like Christmas Vacation's real high up there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Ours too. We love that. That'll probably be on my list this weekend for next Christmas films. It's definitely next to Home Alone. Probably, I don't know, man. Jingle All the Way and that and Home Alone are all real close with quotes.
Die Hard.
You know what? I've already said Die Hard. Is arguably my favorite Christmas movie. But those movies aside, I could easily say Batman Returns too. That's a Christmas movie.
They're all going to get blown away this year because on November 30th on Nickelodeon is the premiere of A Fairly Odd Christmas.
Yeah, well, you let us know how that is.
You damn right I will. I'm all right. I got it marked on my calendar.
It's a good cartoon. Whenever I've had to sit through it, if I go over to like my family's house and there's some little ones around and they like to watch it, it's an entertaining cartoon. I still think that this is just coming from somebody that is probably just grown up, and I've turned into one of those, bickering old guys that says they just don't make them like they used to, but that's the way it is. It's a good cartoon. SpongeBob isn't, it's a good
SpongeBob's
cartoon.
Awesome.
But I mean, it's never going to be as good as Doug, or it's never going to be as good as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or let's just stay on Nickelodeon. It's never going to be as good as the old Nicktoons. I used to love Rocko's Modern Life and Doug, and even Rugrats in the first.
Rugrats is cool. I like Rugrats.
Ren and Stimpy. Rugrats was on for a very long time, but you know what? I mean, the first that first 5 seasons or whatever it is really good. And I love Rocko. Actually, I was watching Rocko's Modern Life on Netflix yesterday. I had myself a mini marathon, and all the sexual underlining innuendos in that show is crazy. Just like Ren and Stimpy, you don't notice it back then when you're a kid, but it's all over Rocko too. For God's sakes, they eat at the Chokey Chicken every day.
Do you remember what Nickelodeon did? Because they had all the live action shows like Salute Your Shorts, but do you remember the show 15?
Roundhouse. No.
Their Low Rent 90210 show?
No.
You don't remember? Starring a young 12-year-old gap-toothed Ryan Reynolds.
Really? I don't remember that.
No, I don't remember that either. Do you guys remember Roundhouse?
Yeah, I remember Roundhouse, yeah.
That variety show where they used to dance and sing, and they were always lip-syncing. Like, bad lip-syncing.
That.
Yeah, all that. That was definitely in my youth too. But I mean, if you can go even further back and have like you can't do that on television, and
television.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think somebody on the site was inquiring about that show, but it was. I remember that show was just exiting as sort of. I was just coming into it because I remember it, but maybe after a year they started moving into Wienervilles and shows like that. So I mean, I don't remember having. I remember some of the skits of it, but I never watched it a lot because they took it off of syndication pretty fast. But remember Welcome Freshmen?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, that was a earlier one too, and that one was actually on syndication a little
Saved
long.
by the Bell spinoff right there.
Well, a ripoff, not a spinoff.
Well, not a spinoff, yeah.
Yeah, they had their Mr. Belding, who was bald and kind of an idiot.
They all suck compared to California Dreams.
Oh, dude, I love California Dreams, but Saved by the Bell is still king, dude.
I'll say California Dreams was the best.
Serve.
I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't. I don't want to get into California Dreams for the next 20 minutes again. Sure. What have you watched recently, Ty? Or River?
I already told you what I watched. I want to hear what Cory G had watched.
Oh, okay. It's probably something with Seagal. He didn't do any Christmas movies.
I watched the Maximum Conviction.
Okay.
I've got a couple other movies I haven't watched yet.
I'm waiting for 6 Bullets, dude.
That's like third in my pile. I got to watch Strebo. Strebo from Mutantville Players. You can actually go over there right now and listen to my episode of The Walking Dead and a double feature, my MMA Mutant episode. It's available on iTunes. His movie that they made is next to my pile. And for anyone listening, by the time this will be up, The Expendables 2, November 20th, that'll get moved right to the top of the Blu-ray pile.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
And you know what I'm watching as soon as we hang up? Tonight was the season premiere of Hardcore Pawn.
Oh, God.
Lovely Miss Ashley Gold.
I wonder how much more weight she put on for this season.
I saw a picture of her. She looks better. I would go ass to mouth on her.
Like, do you think she'd go ass to mouth on you?
We'd do it both. I'm hardcore.
You're hardcore. You already said you'd let her take a big black strap onto you. You'd be open to it.
Did I say that? I'm not.
You did.
I don't saying it.
You don't deny it. You don't remember it. You don't deny it.
I'd do anything she wanted to. You guys watch American Horror Story?
Yeah, that show was freaking awesome. I'd
let her bend me over that desk and fucking sodomize me like that nun.
I didn't see it this week, folks.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about this week. I'm talking about this season. See, I never saw the first season because I missed out on it, and I just heard about this season. I started watching it. It is great, man.
This season the first episode blew away the entire last season. Last season was good, but this is just amazing.
I mean, this is sleazy too, man. This is pretty crazy.
This is pretty hard for TV.
This past episode, Goose, I think you'd like it. It's pretty damn sleazy.
Yeah, I totally meant to watch it. You know, I probably could at any time now, but
let me tell you all about it.
Let
me tell you all about it. See, it starts out with...
Matt, I'll get caught up.
But abducted by aliens or whatever. He's a heck of a good actor for being the nerd from the Never Back Down movie.
He was in One Tree Hill, I think, too.
He was in Kick-Ass. I was informed that the other day. I didn't remember.
He was. Oh yeah, he was one of his friends, one of Kick-Ass's friends, right? Yeah.
Nickolas Cage gonna be in Kick-Ass 2 in a cameo.
How? He died.
Cameo.
Okay, he died though.
Probably a flashback. Jim Carrey, I think, is the bad guy in it.
Really?
Jim Carrey's
cool.
Jim Carrey's the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing the Colonel.
Dude, I love Jim Carrey. I hope he needs to revive his career, man.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
We need another Ace Ventura.
Yeah, I think. Well, Dumb and Dumber looks like it's been on and off and on and off, and I think now it's kind of back in the positive, green light zone again. I think Jim Carrey got fed up with, I guess he said the studios weren't showing the initiative that he thinks they should have for the project, and kind of out of reaction, he dropped out of it. But then the Farrellys they went on record with saying, it's going to be all right, we'll get it fixed or whatever. And I think Jeff Daniels said something similar, and I think they're all back on board again.
Now, do you know in the original, it wasn't supposed to be Jeff Daniels? Do you know who the other star was supposed to be?
I don't know.
Nickolas Cage, yes.
Yeah, right. Speaking of all this Nickolas Cage talk, I want to talk about the fact that did you guys see that? The announcement that he officially signed on and to Expendables 3?
I know he's been rumored to be a part of it since Part 2 came out.
He was rumored, and then there was a press release announced this week or the past week saying he was officially signed on to it. And like I saw those myself. And then somebody close to me mentioned that they thought they read something about Stallone coming online and releasing a statement saying, nothing has been official yet. I personally didn't see that, so I can't vouch for it. So all I've seen is the official announcement that he was on board. So let's just assume that's the case.
He needs to be in it.
What?
He needs to be in it.
I think, honestly, you know what? I don't like Nicolas Cage, but he played an awesome bad guy in Face Off. So I think he's capable of doing a good job. Plus, I'd rather have him if he's the bad guy, then that tells me Steven Seagal will just have a bit part, if any part at all. So if he's not in it, and I'll take Nick Cage over Seagal any day. Because I think...
Oh, screw that, dude.
Steven Seagal is... I think, in all honesty, I wouldn't want him in the Expendables because it just wouldn't be believable if anybody beat him. That guy's the man. He just make his own movie, The Expendable.
He does make his own movie, about 50 a year, and nobody watches them. But yeah,
one thing I say is, fuck Nicolas Cage, fuck Steven Seagal. They need to cast as the villain Wesley Snipes from Demolition Man, Simon Phoenix.
Well,
he's still in jail, so.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, they've wanted him. They've wanted him on board, and whatever. That would be cool
Man's
too.
Still one of my favorite films, dude. I love Demolition Man.
It's a fun movie, but like I said, Nick Cage. At first, I was like, "What?" But I'm open to it. I think he could do a very good bad guy, and plus, if he gets killed by Stallone, I'm okay with it because I really do like Face Off, and I think he's a good bad guy.
Face Off is the best action movie made in America.
I think it was fantastic.
Not to mention, he'd be teaming up with Simon Westing for one of his finer moments. What was Face Off?
Yes. Face Off was it was fantastic. I don't know who has the bigger head though, Stallone or what's his name from Face Off?
Travolta.
Oh, Travolta. Travolta had a big fat head. Yeah.
I mean, which one had the bigger one though?
Did you see From Paris with Love?
No, I haven't.
No.
That was excellent, and because it was a very John Woo style action film, and John Travolta was actually very badass in it, where he had the shaved head and the earring. It was a lot of fun. He had a good time doing the movie. I liked it. Recommend it to anybody.
No, I like Travolta. I liked Broken Arrow a hell of a lot because I like Christian Slater too. Everybody hates Christian Slater, but I like him.
Heathers is one of my favorite films.
Heathers is great, man. Yeah, that's really dark. I like Heathers.
That was when Winona Ryder looked nice and not like an aborted fetus.
I agree.
Yeah, Heathers was okay. I fought her actually for the first time.
And it had the lovely Shannon Doherty in it.
Nah, man, that crooked face. I can't stand looking at her, man. Her she gives my neck a crick because I find myself waning to the left because I want to follow her eyes because her face looks like a Picasso painting. It looks freaking horrible.
See, I'm gonna have to agree with Cory G on this one. I saw.
Thank you.
She was in 90210. She made a cameo in the newer ones.
Yeah.
Too, and she looks pretty good, man.
Yeah, she did that smut movie with Judd Nelson called Blindfold.
Is that good? I haven't seen that yet.
That's pretty good.
Crazy. You do know she has a crooked Picasso face.
Dude, she looks good for a 41-year-old, dude.
Fuck yeah. She looks better than Jenny Garth.
About right.
Tori Spelling sometimes looks attractive to me. I don't know why, but she does.
Occasionally she does.
Yeah, sometimes I see a picture of her, I'm like, every once in a while I see a picture and go, ooh, Kelly Osbourne's looking good, and then I remember who she is, and so.
Yeah, Jenny Garth is, she's pretty nasty now, dude.
Well, I always thought she was. I would have fucked Tiffany Amber Thiessen, though. I still would fuck Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Oh, yeah.
She's really good looking, dude.
I like Tiffany Amber Thiessen on 90210 when she had a little more meat on her, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was way better looking when she had a little... not to totally side with Cory G all the time when he likes, actually gold, but she looks looks better with a little bit of thick on her, for sure.
I'm currently thinking of having sex with Rosie Love.
I wonder. Who?
Rosie Love.
Who's that?
She's a wrestler. Google her.
She's a wrestler.
Goodness.
She's pretty hot.
I've never heard of a small chick named Rosie.
Just Google Rosie Love. I'd do her.
What about Elizabeth Berkley, dude?
No,
she had a nice body. She's ugly. She's just ugly.
I don't think she's attractive. I
think Lark Voorhees is probably the best looking on the show, dude. Say about that.
Oh, Nigel Kelly. Actually, Leah Remini was hot back then.
I think Lark Voorhees is attractive. She's definitely this.
God, we got so off topipic here.
I have sex with any of the chicks in California.
I keep trying to get into the actual meat. You guys keep staying in this old, prime time soap opera garbage.
Now hold on. Now the girls in California Dreams are much more attractive than the girls in Saved by the Bell.
I don't know about
it's settled. True.
Nicole Eggert.
Is that the blonde?
Yes.
The blonde and the short-haired brunette was pretty decent.
Sing the theme song. Get it out of your system.
The Asian girl I didn't find very attractive.
Oh, I like Asian girls.
No, I do too, but I mean, I just didn't find her attractive.
They'll take care of you and do your laundry.
Did you guys think Tori was hot? The freaking Butch chick?
I kind of liked her.
Well, she's a lesbian in real life.
Is she?
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
she's a lesbian.
Okay.
Well, I imagine she's manly, like motorcycle lesbian,
Not lipstick, but the other one, Butch.
You know who was hot? Remember, you watched Melrose Place, right?
Yeah.
Laura Leighton, Sydney, the redhead, was so hot, and then she just got haggard like overnight.
Shit, I used to watch that back in the day, but I haven't seen it in years.
Shit, I got them on DVD.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I might have to borrow those from you.
Awesome. Me and my wife rewatched all of them.
I get my old lady in the mood then.
There you go. Heather Locklear's a good-looking broad, too, for her age. She's too skinny for me. She's good-looking.
She is good-looking.
Well. All right. Speaking of
Isn't
good-looking...
that Marcia Cross in that, too?
Oh, God, she was the one I had the big crush on. She was Kimberly, the crazy one.
Oh, that's right.
Sometimes,
hey, asshole,
you fight for sport. Sometimes,
oh my God,
you fight for love.
You should be more careful with the company you keep.
Sometimes, you fight just to survive.
We're gonna play a little game.
The rules are simple.
These people be the hunters, you be the huntees.
The odds
number 4, 125,000
are even.
With 24 kills, excellent betting.
And the stakes,
Well, I think we've got our man, don't you?
are high.
Want to put $500,000 on Tyler?
He wants to place a bet on one of the hunted.
You win.
Hell of a night for combat, isn't it?
You live.
You make it to the gate, you're free to go.
You lose.
I think somebody's gonna buy it right here.
You die. In the final round, you fight
What's he think?
for your life.
She's gonna cut him the ribbons.
Or you lose it. Lorenzo Lamas. Final round.
I think you're going to have a bad day.
Los Angeles, the year 2006. Citywide crime has increased 300%, and a gang called the Hell Riders control most of the city.
They're heading for the zone.
The Hell Zone, where laws don't exist and murder is the local currency.
good day to kill a cop.
Now that wasn't very neighborly, was it?
Lab says it might be AIDS vaccine.
Well, if the Hellsiders are running this stuff,
Let us go undercover.
Anyone can visit my club if they want to play.
A pair of tough cops on an undercover mission enter the Hell Zone, where a criminal mastermind has created a game, an arena of death-ring fighters. Their job, to expose an illegal AIDS vaccine racket.
You use a stick like you've used one before.
yeah, well, I practice a little.
But they discover that skill doesn't always determine the victor in the arena.
It's run by a computer.
It was Drexel.
Get you out of there.
But we have a contact.
It's too dangerous.
Hey, that guy's a cop.
I have a message to give to your husband.
I'm going into the zone to get Drexel.
Too bad we can't do that in the real world.
LAPD.
Rock and Roll Division.
Firepower.
All right, and we're back, and we're going to answer a couple of fan-submitted questions. How many do we got this week, Cory G?
Technically just 2, because one of them I think is yours.
What? No way. I'm not, writing my name in the ballot box. What are you talking about?
I think his brother wrote one in.
No, then Behind the Mask responded, so there's actually only 2 questions.
I think Dale... Yeah, no, Zach Wells put one in a couple weeks ago. We didn't record last week when we thought we were going to. He's got one that's older, and then we've got, I think Dakota asked one, and then your buddy Dale did too.
Okay, well, the first question is from Dakota. If you were to do a Quantum Leap movie and you weren't allowed to keep the cast from the same show, who would you hire to fill the roles of Sam and Al?
I think we've talked about this before, have we not, River?
Yeah, we talked about but it was all the, if we could put it with an all-black cast, that's what we talked about. But
well, then we've talked about it personally together with, not on record then. I know we've discussed this, like, in personal, but, I don't remember the conclusions we came to on that. You know what? I think I vote Christopher Walken for Al because he's kind of a sleazeball. Al is kind of a womanizer, always looking up girls' skirts. I could see Christopher Walken doing that and being funny.
I'd say John Ritter is if he's still alive. Sam Beckett.
No, that's no good. Sam Beckett's really tough because I just want to say Sam Beckett.
What about Bob Saget, dude?
Dude, I was about to say Uncle Jesse, dude.
You're going to say Uncle Jesse?
You just said Bob Saget, and I was going to say John Stamos. How crazy is that?
Your John Stamos obsession scares me at times.
I think it'd be funny.
I'm listening to too many Jesse and the Rippers, dude.
This guy, don't make me start singing Forever, dude.
Oh,
if every word I said would make you laugh, I'd talk forever. Beach Boys in the background, dude.
I like that that when Michelle's smiling. When Michelle's smiling.
When she was young, dude, she smiling to the baby.
Yeah.
Michelle's smiling. Yeah, dude, that's just.
Now hold on. Now, if you
you're
want to
say Lorenzo Lamas.
No,
you're gonna say Lorenzo Lamas.
No. If you want to talk about some good singing from TV shows, let's talk about California Dreams. Now,
let's talk about your opinion on. Let's talk about your opinion on who should play Sam and Al, not California Dreams. Damn it!
I'm more of a comic book nerd, not a sad nerd, so I never really watched Quantum Leap. No offense.
That's one.
I don't like science fiction. I make no shame. I don't watch Quantum Leap, X-Files, Doctor Who. I'm pretty clueless on all of it. I'm familiar with the plot. I would say if I was going to recast it, we'll just put in Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. Worked before, why not work again?
Oh my God, dude. Who would be Al, dude? Channing Tatum?
I don't even know. I ain't going to lie to you. I don't even know who the fuck Al is. Al Bundy?
I think... No. Dean Stockwell, man. You know what? I think a lot of people could play Al. I think he'd be a little easier to cast than Sam Beckett. I think Christopher Walken would work. I think Joe Pesci would be a good Al. I don't know. There's a lot of people I think could fill those shoes.
Did he ever leap back into himself at the end?
He leaped back into himself, younger versions of himself a couple times.
How did the show end?
Spoilers don't apply. Spoilers don't apply for shows that have been off the air for 25 years.
This is probably the saddest ending ever, dude. And go ahead, Goose, get into it.
And I want to say that it wasn't the official ending. This wasn't intended to be the series finale, but in between seasons, they got the announcement that it was canceled, so they quickly tacked on some end captions just to kind of wrap it all up. Basically, the final episode of the 5th season wasn't intended to be the last episode. He did leap into himself, sort of, and he was talking to this bartender, and it was the same guy that he met in the very first episode. as a different character. And he kind of basically told him that it was his destiny to continue to leap, basically, and just kind of left it kind of open like that. But then they kind of faded to black, and they just pop up the screen. They tacked it on at the end, saying basically, Sam Beckett never returned home. He, like, okay, So I would have, they've even talked about how they would have liked to have seen it. They thought there was going to be another season. They thought there was going to be another season that was going to involve heavily Al a little more.
Well, they talked about a movie,
and sort of his.
That was like 3 years ago. We mentioned that on one of the podcasts, and of course, I never got off the ground.
That sounds sad, but I don't think it sounds as sad as when Zane Walker stole Jake Summers' song and made it a hit in the show California Dreams.
You know what? I'm about to pull a Bill O'Reilly in here, start throwing shit. But no, seriously, Quantum Leap deserves. You shouldn't mention California Dreams in the same sentence as Quantum Leap. Come on, River.
Quantum Leap.
Yeah, Quantum
Leap is and if we were talking about Scott Bakula is pretty much our god. Well, you know what I'm saying. I mean, he's a
fantastic guy. He is our. You know what? If you gave me the opportunity to interview someone like Brad Pitt or Scott Bakula, I'd be interviewing Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula is our. Let's say
he's our hero.
Yeah,
River and I go way back. We go way back to freaking school days.
He's our Steven Seagal.
Yeah. We go back really young, and we've always talked about Scott Bakula. We were gay for him, I guess. I don't know. We had a problem, but we used to draw. We used to have the Notebook. Do you remember the Notebook, River? Mm-hmm. And we'd sit there and draw stupid song lyrics that we'd rip off titles of Goosebumps books. And, come up with band names. And I remember we had these pages, like shrines to Scott Bakula, where we'd cut out, People magazine clippings of him. And we'd, draw arrows saying, River and Goose's father. It was, now that I think about it, it was something preteen guys should not have been doing. It's kind of messed up. But you know what? It was a little disturbing. But we love the guy, dude. He's awesome. He's got this quality where it's you know what? This is the kind of guy I want to fly a kite with me. He can help me build a go-kart. Yeah. He'd make my mom happy. But that's the way we were thinking. He would treat us right.
He's the father that I want to be. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Such a good guy, dude. Oh.
Yeah. I wanted Jason David Frank to be my older brother, Scott Bakula to be my father, and I wanted Van Damme to be my drunk,
uncle,
always in and out of jail uncle. Yeah.
Yet fans listening, I'm the weird one because I want to have sex with Ashley Gold. Let's think about this.
Well, I want to have sex with Scott Bakula.
Oh. Now our next question comes from Dale Roy.
River, you want to rub your face all over his hamburger meat on his chest?
Pretty much, dude.
Oh, okay. Let's get into Dale Roy.
Oh, okay. One more quick thing. Me and Goose or whatever. When we were younger, we were talking about different Quantum Leap episodes that we could think of, and it always popped into our head where Scott jumped into a girl. Jumped into a girl sucking some dude off or whatever, and as he's sucking some dude off, he's like, "Oh boy."
Oh boy! I mean, I think anybody could have thought of that too, or him getting pounded in the freaking brown hole, man. Oh boy, or in prison. He didn't even have to be a female. I mean, I don't know why we're being perverted like that, but it could have happened. This guy is freaking leaping into all kinds of people. Who's to say? And he leapt into all kinds of bad situations. Who's to say that he was a rape victim once? Yeah. But he didn't leap into when she was getting raped. Come on, man. They should have took the gloves off and had him just go all the way. Have him leap right into the rape. But anyway.
Next question.
That's terrible. You don't need that kind of stuff on TV. You need things like California Dreams, where they don't deal with those kind of problems.
Just let you lay back in
the sun
until your dream is done.
Dale Roy says, first off, good job on the Elsky McCain interview. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Well, we enjoyed it too. That was a lot of fun. I know from recent episodes you guys are into kid shows and cartoons. Did any of you ever get into the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon in the 80s? I remember watching it.
I never watched it. I mean, I know what it is. I've seen it, but I've never actually, practiced watching the show on a regular basis.
Watched it. It's a little before my time. I mean,
Dale and I are the same age.
Yeah,
Spoiler
you guys are the
alert,
same
we're
age.
going on 30.
It was still on some syndication when I was really young. I remember being on.
And also, did you guys ever see the DVDs of the unaired Garbage Pail Kids cartoon? There was a big backlash of concerned parents that they pulled it before it was about to air, but they did a bunch of episodes of it, and it's really good classic stuff. I used to buy the cards.
Me too.
I think I still have them, actually. Never saw the cartoon, never saw the movie. I just thought the cards were kind of neat.
The cards were awesome, dude. I used to have a ton of those things. They were sticker cards, weren't they?
Yeah, they came with sticker cards, and they came with like the stick of gum, like in the old days. There,
like Potty Scotty and Adam Bomb and all those.
I know I still have mine somewhere at my grandparents' house. I don't think they're worth anything.
Well, good question. What was that? Was that the all of that question? Was there anything?
That was all the questions.
No. Zach Wells asked one a couple weeks ago. I think he deserves for us to get back to it.
But I got to do research.
Yeah.
I will find it. In
he's
2 seconds flat.
He's a loyal fan, man. We need to.
I'll get it. I can find it. I know where it is.
Well, while you look about that, I got a question for Todd while you're looking for that. What was your favorite episode of California Dreams?
Well, I already told you one a few weeks ago when Jake was trying to stop smoking. I used to like that one a lot.
Yeah. Now, if you were to recast the movie Silent Rage with California Dreams... Oh, wait, that joke doesn't apply here. Never mind.
Who was your favorite character in California Dreams?
Oh, it had to be Jake. Although Tony Wicks was pretty cool. He did that movie Dangerous Game with Corey Feldman, where Corey Feldman was the evil kung fu master.
I've never seen that.
Excuse me. It's actually quite good. You know, while he's busy looking up this question, what was your second favorite episode of California Dreams?
Probably...
Okay, just stop with this. I found the question. Stop with the madness. No more California Dreams. I got it. Okay. All right. I can't take it anymore. All right. The question is, just thought of a question for tonight's episode, guys. For Corey, he asks, if Topanga and Ashley Gold both knocked on your door and wanted to make with the love while you wear your lucha mask, but you have to choose only one of them, who would it be?
I answered this, and he was kind of disappointed. It'd be Ashley Gold.
Oh, Kev, to the plate.
Yeah. Ashley Gold, really?
Yeah. Something about her. I don't know. She's hot.
Hey, you've crossed the line into fetish territory. You know, nothing will get in your way of getting that fetish. I got it. I get you. Well,
I would put her in a blonde wig and call her Tiffany, and I put on my motorcycle jacket and call myself Jake, and we could watch California Dreams while we have sex.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope
think
you were
after work, I'm going to watch California Dreams.
DVD. You have that on DVD?
My Lord!
Shout Factory put out the first 4 seasons, which I bought, and they never released the 5th.
They never released the last season. You know, I know they didn't release the. I didn't know they didn't release the last
Shit
season.
Factory.
They didn't release the last season, and I know this because we talk about this every episode.
Luckily, Mill Creek might pick it up because that's who I got my complete Boy Meets World collection from and complete Renegade series from.
Shout Factory's putting out there's another show I saw.
Beetlejuice. I posted that up on the.
Yeah, but they'll fuck you. They'll put out the first season and they'll never release anymore.
Oh man, I think there was only a couple seasons of Beetlejuice, but
Shout Factory,
I love
if you're listening, Shout Factory, I hate you.
Oh man, don't say that.
But yet I still buy all of your Scream Factory Blu-rays because they're fucking amazing.
We want screener copies, man. We don't want to curse them out. Nah, they won't listen.
They don't even their employees.
Well, I hope, Zach, that you are, pleased with that answer.
Sorry, Zach. I can't tell you anything funnier. Ashley Gold all the way.
What would you do to Ashley Gold?
It's more like what I'd let her do to me.
What would you let her do to you?
I don't know, but right now I think I can see something with a toilet paper roll, a Q-tip swab, and some Listerine. I could get some ideas.
Oh, God.
Nasty, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's the questions for this week. Those are some pretty good ones. Thanks again, guys. Keep them coming in, and they seem to be getting crazier and crazier, making us think a little bit. Maybe that wasn't such a question where Cory had to think too much, because it sounds like he's been planning that one for the rest of his life. I mean, his whole life.
And some guy did. I apologize, fan, because I don't remember your name. You liked my Paranormal Activity review. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Oh, John Milan.
You're talking about John Milan, John from across the pond, a.k.a.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Incredible guy and a big-time supporter. He follows up on that stuff, man, and he writes pretty good reviews himself. So
he's put some reviews on our website. So.
Twilight review coming this week.
Okay. We'll be on the lookout of that one, folks. And speaking of reviews, this is a nice segue into something I want to talk about. Haven't really gotten to talk about, ever since Cory's been on, we haven't talked about music very much, and I really want to try and get that back in the picture a little bit, and I'll talk about briefly a couple of the albums that have been out recently, and then I'm going to post some reviews officially on the website, hopefully in a little more depth. But a few weeks back, we had the new Stone Sour. River, you're a fan, right? I don't know if any of you guys follow along with their music, but it's their fourth album, and they've had this progression of kind of getting a little bit more radio rock and a little bit more radio friendly with the last one, Audio Secrecy, which came out in 2010. It definitely was very heavy on the hooky, radio friendly. It was very good. It was great. River was obsessed with it. I loved it. But it was definitely not so balanced. It was very mellow, but very, very good. This one is a conceptual album. It's actually part 1 of 2, House of Gold and Bones, part 1, with part 2, I believe, coming in the spring. And it is above and beyond their best record. I think they finally topped their original, which that's always hard to do. And they've done really well by the concept. Not concept as in King Crimson, where it's like 20-minute long suites and really complex structures. No, it's like 11 songs. They're all like 2 to 3.5 minutes. It goes by quick, but it slams you in the face, and it's really well balanced. You got a couple acoustic ballads. You got a couple of experimental tracks with orchestras. You got a couple of songs that are really heavy, like, almost like Slipknot yelling vocals, which he hasn't done in a long time. So it's really, really well balanced, and I'm very, very, very happy with it. And he just becomes a better lyric writer with every album. He's really getting good. And I know he has haters. That comes with anybody that gets popularity and gets success. So, they can all sit on a pine cone, Rusty Blade, do the twist. But very, very good. Today I picked up the new Deftones. God, how do you pronounce it? I got to read it off. It's a Japanese Koi no Yokan. The last Deftones record I was a big fan of, Diamond Eyes, after kind of falling off with them a little bit, but they kind of put a shock back in me with that last one. It was really, really, really good. And I've listened to this one once through, whereas the Stone Sour I've listened to literally 40 times in the last 2 weeks. And so far, so good. It's very atmospheric. Not complex, but just very, very colorful and atmospheric. So if you guys like them, it's very, very good. And last but not least, I also picked up what came out today along with Deftones, the new Soundgarden. First new Soundgarden in 16 years. After reforming a year ago or so. It's called King Animal. I have made it maybe 3 or 4 tracks in so far, and so far it sounds like a natural next step in progression from Down on the Upside, their last album. So far it doesn't sound like the heavier Soundgarden I was kind of hoping for, like Bad Motor Finger, or maybe even before that, Louder Than Love or something like that, where they were really almost like Black Sabbath sludgy heavy. But yeah, more of kind of an alternative next progression mid-90s thing they were doing when they left off with Down on the Upside. But I hope to finish that and write reviews on all 3 of those. But that's what I got, music-wise. Oh, very cool. Good? Yeah, great.
Let's
Cory. Well, I wanted to ask real quick, Cory. We never talked about music with you. What kind of music do you like? I think people out there deserve to know.
All the bands I like are long broke up. I like old punk music. My favorite album is The Misfits' Legacy Brutality, which is why I have the back cover of it tattooed on my shoulder blade. Big Misfits fan. They're my favorite band. Danzig, I liked when he did Sam Hain. I didn't like any of the stuff he does now. I like the Ramones, the Dead Kennedys, the Clash.
That first Danzig's good though. You don't like the first Danzig solo album?
No, it's too metal for me. I don't like any metal music or anything like that.
But it wasn't. It was dark like metal, but it was dark like metal, but it wasn't like real heavy. It wasn't punk, but
I like punk music. Short attention span. You got to remember.
I know what you're saying, but the song.
No, I like my Katy Perry. I got no shame in admitting I like my Katy Perry, but
I like Lady Gaga.
I like Katy Perry too, and Gaga.
I don't like Katy Perry. I don't think I can see the town in Lady Gaga.
She's smoking, dude.
I'm not disputing looks here. I don't see the town in Katy Perry. I can see town in Lady Gaga and give credit where it's due. But anyway,
I got a kid, so I listen to a lot of kids' music. But you know, one album I will be and you reviewed an album everybody should go and buy. And NBC released it. They made a California Dreams album that compiled songs from the TV show California Dreams.
Do you have it?
No, it's actually worth money. It's actually very hard to come by.
Okay,
I'd rather jerk off with barbed wire like Human Centipede 2 than listen to another sentence on California Dreams. But
right, you want to move on to stuff? Do you want?
I'm not a music guy. I can talk about video games and movies, TV shows, but this is music. Not a big music guy.
I can talk about all of it. Music's always been my main thing. And to close off music, I do want to say real quick, River. I think as far as we're at the end of the year, and I think I'll do an official end of the year when we get closer to Christmas on my album of the year, at least maybe heavy album of the year. I know there's a lot of genres out there, but it was Meshuggah with Koloss that came out in the spring, and Stone Sour might overtake it, but Koloss was so good. But this might be album of the year as far as rock goes. But you mentioned video games really quick. I want to mention, if anybody likes video games out there and anybody's a PlayStation 3 player, on the PS Network, I noticed tonight, for some reason, Persona 3, the PS2 classic, if you guys are role-playing fans, those games are amazing, is only $4.99 all of a sudden. It's supposed to be $10, and it wasn't marketed as a PlayStation Plus perk or a discount. I think it's an error. I think it's seriously an accident this week, so I jumped on it and bought it before they wise up and bring it back up to full price. So just wanted to let everybody out there know if you guys were fans. So sorry, just being a good Samaritan.
And we will do our year-end review at the end of the year of. Well, yeah, we'll definitely do music and movies and video games, all that shit.
Even TV shows, best seasons. Yeah.
You know how they do the countdown, the 10, 9, 8, for the ball?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'll do the 10, 9, 8 of California Dreams episode, starting at number 10 up to number 1.
That's gonna be the Cory G solo episode.
Let's move on to. We checked out. Do you want to talk about that trailer we checked out, or you posted on the page?
Oh yeah, the World War Z. My main beef with it is, I don't know, man. I mean, some people might say zombies are a little oversaturated right now. That might be the case. I still am kind of at that level where I'm kind of glad they're popular because because if they didn't have this kind of resurgence in like pop culture, we wouldn't have an awesome show like Walking Dead, and we wouldn't get to see leg amputations on basic cable. We get the perks to that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think it's kind of fun going to work and everybody watches Walking Dead and we can all talk about it. It's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Back when I was young.
I'd love to talk about that at work.
When River and I were in high school, for example, man, we were, at that age where, man, they don't understand our bands, they don't understand our movies, and we were a very small group, and there was only a couple, when you run into somebody like Riverman, you meet this guy for the first time, and he likes the same movie as you, or maybe he introduces you into a movie that you grow to love, or maybe he's heard of a band that you didn't think anybody knew existed. You guys click, and you become this little tight unit, and you gladly welcome anybody into the group that happens to be into the same stuff. But now I can go to work, like I said, and everybody watches Walking Dead. It's really hot. I can go anywhere at school, college, everybody talks. Cool. Back then, we were kind of exclusive. We don't want them to like it. Now I'm cool with it. So if we get World War Z, as long as it's good, I don't mind. As long as it's a good product, it could do $500 million in the box office. As long as it's good, I can deal with it. Now, the only thing I think I criticized from that trailer is the fact that the zombies are way too CG. Like, okay. Now, a la, what is the Will Smith movie? I Am Legend. You know?
I Am Legend.
Yeah,
and that's what
Legend. Yeah, it reminds you of that. But you know what? I mean, I don't know, man. I just think when you're going to really delve into something that's definitely, well, I Am Legend wasn't necessarily quote unquote zombies. It was whatever you filled in the blank, whatever they were. You know, this is World War Z. It's in the title, Z, zombies, I guess. I mean, I like to see a little practical effect, and that's why I can't diss on Walking Dead, because they put their heart into those practical effects. You know, they're true to form, and it's popular without being compromised. It is what it is, and it's pretty hardcore. So if people jump on board to something that's pretty legit, I'm happy with that. So I don't know. I don't like my zombies all CGI and jumping on helicopters and stuff.
Seeing like the big crowd scenes and all that. For all we know, every tight quarter scene could be a practical effect. We don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, like, I saw the trailer. It kind of reminds me of I Am Legend, which I really enjoyed. And I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt is what I'm going to do with, because, I mean, CGI or not, like, I'm starting to learn, like, a lot of people nowadays, they don't give a fuck. I mean, they're going to go CGI, and the fact that Brad Pitt's in it, I think it just takes it up 2 or 3 notches for me, because I'm a huge Brad Pitt fan.
I accept it. I accept CGI. It's the new days. It's, you know, practical effects are going out. But, like, I don't get mad when Walking Dead uses a little bit. I can tell sometimes the blood is CGI and some of the quick, swift movements, but they make it, they do it tastefully.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have a nice balance there. I mean, I get it. It might be hard to do a helicopter shot showing like 5,000 zombies and making those all legit people. I get it. I mean, but like you said, Corey, if we watch the film and it's a nice balance and, you know, there's some cutaway stuff like you're saying and there is some practical effects going on, then, you know, good on them.
Well, I mean, I just want to say, don't discard it before you actually watch the movie. I mean, based on the trailer, I mean, you see, you know, things that you might not like about it, but I mean, don't just be bitching about, oh, it's just CGI. You know what? Just give it a chance.
And did I bitch about it, folks?
I'm not saying you, Goose. I'm saying the majority.
I said the only thing I could possibly pick out of that trailer was the fact that every shot of a zombie looked CGI. Other than that, it was like, we're going off a 45-minute long trailer, and that's what I noticed from the trailer. I'm reviewing a trailer, not a movie.
No,
it's
exactly.
It's going to be better than anything George Romero's punk ass has ever done.
True that, man. True that.
The past 10 years, 15 years, probably.
No, I'll just say ever.
Ever? Oh my God,
no, I mean, when was the last great George Romero film, River? What do you think? It's been a long time.
Creep Show?
Creep Show was a long time ago.
You've heard, if you listen to Exploit Cinema, I have a lawsuit I'm filing against George Romero.
Over?
He owes me $15.
For which was the movies? Land of the Dead?
Night Riders.
Oh, Night Riders. Yeah, that was boring.
The most pussy gang in the world.
No, Day of the Dead came out afterwards. Day of the Dead is probably my favorite Romero movie.
Yeah, I said Land of the Dead. But
that's decent, but I mean,
that stinks.
It's a movie I'll never watch again. I have it on Blu-ray, but I don't watch it.
Land of the Dead does not have any rewatch value, and it's very incomplete. Day of the Dead is really, really good, but I think I still like Dawn of the Dead better. I like the acting a lot better in Dawn of the Dead. I mean, obviously
how do you like the acting better, dude? It's so cheesy in Day of the Dead. That's why I love it.
That's what I mean. The acting is ridiculously cheesy. I think I like the characters better. The development of the characters better in Dawn of the Dead.
I agree.
With the exception of Bub, the character's a little more throwaway. You don't really care about him so much in Day.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, with the exception of Bub. I mean, obviously the special effects, they went to the next level in Day of the Dead. So I think if we could have had the special effects of Day of the Dead mixed with some of that story and atmosphere and characters of Dawn of the Dead, you would have the perfect movie.
The thing about Night of the Living Dead, the original, I think it's fucking boring. I'd rather watch 990 any day.
I agree with you on that sense.
I don't want to watch a black and white. You know, it's just boring, dude. And every time they hit like a zombie with a rock, there's like, ooh.
But I watched that. I think the last time I watched the original one was actually a couple years ago. It's been a long time, but I respect it for it breaking ground. And I can
guys 990 though.
I can watch it and I can see how it had the impact it did. And I think for a movie of the day, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, too. Night of the 90, we grew up with that. That's what we grew up with, and we're kind of more prone to watching stuff in Technicolor and all that stuff. And, I like Night of the 90. I like Night 92.
I'd rather watch Zombieland.
Oh,
Zombieland has no rewatch value. No rewatch value.
5 times.
I liked it the first time. That was it.
Oh, I like
exactly.
it way better than Shaun of the Dead.
Oh no! I saw Zombieland the first time, and like River said, I loved it. I had fun because it was, at that time we didn't have a lot of zombie movies coming out. It was really cool in the mainstream, and and it was funny. Woody Harrelson's great. Bill Murray, the cameo, of course, is hilarious, but it has no rewatch value. I tried watching it a second time, and it's just can't hold. Shaun of the Dead, however, I can watch a million times over. I love that movie, and I can quote it.
Let me ask you a 2-part question. What's your favorite part 1? What's your favorite zombie movie of all time?
You know what? I'm going to be very, very, very ballsy, and I'm going to say Shaun of the Dead. I think Shaun of the Dead is better than any zombie movie out there. I think it's even better than the classic horror films. Fulci, Romero.
I hate both of those guys. Now here's part 2 to the question. If you were to recast Shaun of the Dead with the cast of California Dreams, who would you cast?
I don't know the cast of California Dreams because I hate that shit. I will tell you this though, I do know Saved by the Bell, and I would play Sean's dad, Mr. Belding, obviously. I would have I would replace, the Harry Potter looking dude, I would make him Johnny Dakota because he's a douchebag too, and you kind of want him to get totally gutted too. Like he did. God, and in the lead, I guess, I don't know, man. I guess Zach Morris. I have no idea. I'm not doing California Dreams. I refuse.
So you like Shaun of the Dead over Return of the Living Dead?
Okay. If we narrow, yes,
I think Day of the Dead and Return of the Living Dead are my two top.
I will say Shaun of the Dead is the greatest. That's my favorite. But if you were to force me to have a subtopic like best horror that isn't, well, I mean, Return of the Living Dead's kind of comedy, but it's still horror. I would say Return of the Living Dead may be I like the original Dawn of the Dead.
No,
I love Return of the Dead.
But
in no particular order.
Dawn and Return of the Living Dead 2 in there too.
Well, okay, definitely my top 3. Definitely, I love Return of the Living Dead has my favorite horror theme music ever.
Yes.
Bar none. It's incredible, and that's what I don't know if anybody knows it out there. My brother and I wrote the Behind the Mask theme that you guys always hear. That's probably annoyed the hell out of you guys by this point. We were going for, all right, let's go for that Return of the Living Dead vibe, that kind of campy, 80s thing, and that's what came out. I don't know if it sounds like it or not, or if we tapped into it at all, but that's the mindset we had because I love that soundtrack.
I thought it was more Dawn of the Dead.
I don't, like I said, we go for something and it's not necessarily going to come out the way we aim, but that's what we were thinking about. Yeah, I love the Goblin soundtrack. I love the Dawn of the Dead. That's number two. But there's just something about that Return of the Living Dead thing.
Return of the Living Dead, yeah, that soundtrack is a lot better. Even though I love Goblin.
Yeah, that's really good mood music. If I was going to play Halloween music outside my window for trick-or-treaters, I would just throw on the Goblin stuff and nothing else because it sets the mood better than anything. But on that note, though, I really wish they would put out Return of the Living Dead 2 on Blu-ray.
Okay, and I talked about this with God, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Bad 32, but basically they can't do it because of the rights to the music. That's why they put out a DVD of it, but they scratched the whole soundtrack on it, so it's all fucked up, and there was like a huge uproar with the people that bought the actual DVD that came out probably 5 years ago on Anchor Bay or something, and that's why they never re-released it. So I'd love to have that on Blu-ray, but
that's the last time I saw it was on recorded off of HBO or Cinemax on VHS because that was the only at the time the only way.
And I'd keep that if I had it because I have it on VHS and that's the only one I watch because it has the legit soundtrack to it that actually matches up to the movie. So
I have it on DVD, but I haven't watched it in so long I can't remember the difference.
Yeah, it's all fucked up. It doesn't go well with the movie at all. So
come to the hospital. Wait a minute. Who's the president? Harry Truman.
Harry Truman. I love it, dude. Everybody hates on the second. I love the second one, dude. I remember watching Joe Bob.
You said Joe Bob? What about Joe Bob?
You want to talk about a good zombie movie? Against the Dark. Steven Seagal versus vampires. Why did I say zombies? Anyway, Steven Seagal versus vampires. Get on that.
Yeah, well, that's not zombies, so... Steven, I don't put it past him for coming out with a zombie movie. He seems to be hopping on whatever trend is hot to try, you know. I guess a couple years ago it was Twilight, so let's do vampires. Now he'll probably come out with some kind of Walking Dead spoof. But
I agree.
Can you imagine? Okay, what if we had like a cross-pollination of TV shows? And, you know, they've done that in many, many series. You would have like Urkel on Full House and whatever. You know, okay, what if the cast of Walking Dead, their posse, ran into Lawman on the show Walking Dead? Maybe Lawman had his own posse.
Oh, would wipe them all out in seconds.
Well, he should have played the governor, dude.
Dude, that would have been ridiculous.
That would have been sweet, dude.
Can you imagine that, though? I mean, you know, well, you know, they were in Georgia. They weren't too far away from Lawman's neck of the woods. They could have ran into him. You never know.
What do you think, Cory G?
That'd be sweet. I could see him going, man, you come into my fucking town, Andre. You better be hitting some of this here G baby cakes and all that. I could see that. And then when he saw T-Dog, he could be like, pull the car around. That's a black guy in a shirt. I got to get a closer look at him before we let him into town, Johnny.
Oh, God.
You know, I think after all this talk, I think I definitely, you know what? I think I'm open to the idea of Steven Seagal being Expendables 3, just so I have something to bicker with Cory G about. And just so, you know, when we go see the movie, I want to see him get slaughtered. I want to see whoever take him out. And if he's a good guy, like a kind of the Chuck Norris role, I'll be pissed because he won't die, and I'll get no glory out of that. But if he's a bad guy, I'll take much satisfaction, just like I did with Executive Decision when they 86'd him within the first 15 minutes, and he didn't even get a glorified death. He just flew out of a plane. Bye.
I used to be so pissed off when I was a kid about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just flew out of a plane. Like, I mean, it was so unglorified that you just thought, oh, he's not dead. He's hanging off the back of a wing or something. He caught himself.
Well, he's on the cover, dude. What do you expect?
I know. Well, they took him off the cover now of the reissue.
Big star at the time.
Yeah. But, yeah, just my mom was pissed. My mom rented that movie because of him. Well, she loved Kurt Russell, too, but, yeah, I love it personally. Flies off a plane. Bada bing. He's just everyday Joe Schmo. We all die when we fly off a plane. Steven Seagal does too.
Oh, before we wrap up the show, I was going to ask you guys one thing. Are you guys going to go see the Universal Soldier movie? I think that's coming out in theaters.
I don't think it's coming to my town if it is, but I totally would.
Cory, do you know if that's coming to our town or not? Or
you can order it on pay-per-view right now.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, $9.99.
Okay.
I'm thinking about ordering it.
Well, shit. If you end up
do I want to pay $10 and order it, or do I want to wait 2 months and get the Blu-ray for $14? I always kind of look at it that way.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, if it was in theaters,
I'd like to go see
like
it
I'd just be going to theaters and paying $10 to go sit down and see it.
Yeah.
It would be cool. I'd pay $10 to go sit down and watch, just see Van Damme on the big screen. You know.
I spent that on the D box at Expendables 2, dude. Yeah, that was crazy. You ever seen a D-Box movie, Cory G?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's like where the seats vibrate and move and shit with every gunshot and everything. It was
Where was that at?
It's at the Rave.
Rave, okay. I haven't been to the Rave since that's where I saw my Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, I saw that there too. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I've been going to the Exarban movie theater. That's pretty nice. I like that.
I have yet to go there. I need to.
I live by the Twin Creek, so it's easier for me to make a 6-minute drive.
No, I hear you. But yeah, that'll pretty much wrap up the show for this week. But
yeah, hopefully, I'm thinking maybe not by next episode, but the episode after that we'll be reviewing the Expendables 2 Blu-ray because it comes out the 20th. So looking forward to that.
How much is that going to be? Is it going to be $20 or is it going to be?
You know, it's going to be 20. It'll be 20.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be 20 at least. So.
Okay.
And Black Friday stuff's out, and I don't see that on special for Black Friday anywhere. It's a shame. Not even like Doorbuster. But anyway, yeah, hopefully we'll be getting that in the next episode or two. And thanks for the questions again, and keep those coming.
And yeah, by the next episode, we need to talk about our Doorbusters for Black Friday. What we're going to go out and buy. That would be a good topic.
Absolutely.
So,
all right, folks.
But yeah, this is
go ahead.
This is Riverman.
This is Goose.
This is Cory G.
And you were listening to
Behind. You guys are supposed to continue it. Behind.
Mask.